Everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ryan from Seaway Sports Lounge, and this is another episode of Leafs Timeout. And I'm back. Last week I had a bit of an issue with a bug I was battling. I didn't sound the greatest, and it certainly didn't look the greatest. But anyway, I'm all healed up. I sound a little stuffed up. That's no big deal. Anyway, I felt like it's time to make a video. Lots to unpack with the Maple Leafs these days, and I was starting to fall behind a little. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the Stars, the Leafs playing tonight. There's a few little storylines that have gone on. Also, we're going to go with what happened to the Leafs. We're also going to go period by period as we always do. And I'm going to talk with my takeaways that I saw. So, with that, let's just get right into it. So, the Leafs played the Stars at home, as in the Stars' home in Dallas. And Murray and Oettinger were the goalies in net. Now, Murray's had a great comeback since his injury. We'll go more into that a little more in detail. Dallas has been an exceptionally good team all year. So it was going to be interesting to see how the Leafs handled them. But they played very well tonight, but we'll talk about that. But other than that, those were the goalies that started. The fact of two or three major storylines that happened in this game. Number one was Mitch Marner, obviously continuing his point streak. He's looking to extend it to 20 games in this game. Robertson is facing off against his brother Jason, and Jason himself actually had a point streak or goal streak going for him in his play. So a lot of things to watch this time. Lots of different little bit of facets to the game to watch. So anyway, it was interesting to see. Dallas always seems to be a bit of an interesting opponent for the Maple Leafs to play. I really don't know how they'll go. A lot of the times, either Toronto will play very well, or just Dallas plays very well. It just seems to be not a close game. I find one team's better than the other, but in this one, it was a little bit of both, actually. And of course, the Maple Leafs win. They won 4-0 tonight. They got a shutout for Mr. Murray, which is great. They were outshot 44-29. Now, to make a point of that, the Maple Leafs were on the penalty kill 7 times tonight. So they had the man advantage quite often. The Leafs did get into some penalty trouble. But they actually went 7 for 7 for the penalty kill. Leafs were perfect. They were aggressive. They were out blocking shots. Murray was fantastic as always. You hope your goaltender is your best penalty killer. So they did a great job on the penalty kill. They were all over Dallas. Dallas did have shots on goal quite a bit. Obviously 44-29, but Murray stood his ground, and so did the defense as best they could regarding the penalty kill. Now, so first period goals were Tavares and Matthews. Tavares is looking better and better with every game. His conditioning in the summer has made an excellent change for him. He looks more aggressive. He's in the position where he needs to be to score a lot of goals, and he is. Of course, Matthews is starting to heat up quite a bit. He was in his usual spot. He was circling around the net. He actually threw it on the net. It missed, and then ended up landing nearby. He ended up picking up his own rebound, coming around the middle, and he shot right where he always likes to shoot, and he put it right by Oettinger. So great first period. Toronto looked good, good structure, good overall play. And of course, Marner and Giordano got the assists. Marner ended up extending his point streak to 20 games. So great news for Marner. I hope he continues for a long period of time. I mean, get a point every game if you can. But it's been pretty fantastic to watch. Lots of fun. And Giordano is just what a machine. This guy, over 30, he's 39 years old. He's playing well over 22 minutes a game right now because of the least depleted lineup. And he is just becoming a real leader out there, which he always was. But he's really starting to show his value, especially the fact that he's only making 800K for the next 2 years. Just a great signing all around, and a great player. Second period, Toronto ran into some penalty trouble in the second period. They had 12 penalty minutes in that period. Near the end of it, Rasmus Sandin played a great penalty kill sequence. He was blocking shots. He ended up actually throwing Glendening into the boards, which you never see him do that, but he did. Anyway, he ended up going down to the other end of the ice. He ended up getting a goal just after the penalty kill was over. And he scored with Bunting and Matthews assisting. And with the fact that the defense core has been ravaged with a lot of injuries, Liljegren and Sandin have certainly taken these roles to heart, and they are playing probably some of their best hockeys of their life. These guys are just stepping up and getting the job done. They're becoming a very, very reliable source for Sheldon to put on the ice, and they are actually being used in many, many different areas. Overall, these two first rounders are doing exactly what they hoped and then some. So, hats off to those guys, and hats off to Sandine, especially because he is really starting to evolve his game. He used to be a player, as we all know, that would get bumped off the puck or he wouldn't know where he was supposed to stand. I mean, that's just age and time. But now that he's had some time in the NHL and he's really starting to develop and mature as a player and as a person, he's really showing his worth and he's making really good decisions and he's giving a lot of extra looks at those the power play, especially number one power play. So great job by Matt Rasmus Sandine tonight. Third period, uh, Dallas obviously put on a surge in the third period. They were doing everything they could, true, well, throughout the game, but definitely in the third period, they were trying to get the game going back in their favor. It didn't happen. Matt Murray continued to play his sensational play. Toronto overall played a fantastic effort defensively. And by the very end of the third, about 4.5 minutes left, Alex Kerfoot, who scored an empty netter, actually put his first one in like over 20 games, 22 games. And he got the assisting from Liljegren. And that's obviously a big weight off his shoulders. This guy, he's $3.5 million, and he's supposed to be putting at least 15 to 25 goals a year. And that was his first goal in over 20. He's been definitely struggling on the offense side, but it was just nice to see, even though it was an empty netter, it still counts. It's still a goal. So good for Kerfoot. And overall, great game by the Leafs. Now, takeaways. Lots to take away in this game. Let's start with the number one thing. Matt Murray was brilliant once again. Now, to be up front here, in previous videos, as many people see, I was the biggest critic you can find about Matt Murray. To be honest, what we saw, I'm not going to go too much into it with the past, but since he's come back from injury, he has played excellent hockey. He hasn't had any nights where he's looked really bad or shaky or unsure of what he's doing. You can clearly see this guy is a veteran goaltender. He knows what to do and he looks very comfortable in net. He's obviously has the trust of his defensemen because they're making decisions now. There's no poor plays, mistakes where there's sloppy passes, and then all of a sudden it goes in the net. Toronto has really enhanced that aspect of their game in the last month. By far his best game of overall as a Leaf, and obviously a shutout. So naturally, but I can say right now that I am quietly optimistic that Matt Murray has turned his game around as they hoped, and that he is going to be a dominant force going forward throughout this season and hopefully well into the playoffs. And with Samsonov back as well, which is even better, that just bolsters their goaltender situation even better. So having essentially two number ones now able to play at any time is obviously, I mean, who doesn't want that? But Marner also another big takeaway took his got an assist. So great news for Marner. Marner's having an excellent season. Yes, the Maple Leafs did have a slow start in October. They weren't the greatest, as we all saw, but they obviously have fixed what they needed to fix. The injuries to the defense core obviously has created this opportunity for the team to improve. They have, and they've bought into the idea of this defense first, and then the offense will come idea. And it has. And Toronto is now scoring 3, 4 goals a game without any problem, as they should, because they have so much talent. But overall, Marner has looked like one of the most dominant forwards. They obviously have a few, but I really like how his game is becoming. Obviously, Matthews is starting to heat up as well, which is great for the Leafs. They need Matthews to be who he is, which we all expect. I mean, Tavares is giving a stellar performance, and William Nylander. Let's not forget William Nylander. He is playing a great season again. This guy, 6.9 million cap hit, and now he's really starting to show his quality in the signing they did. I mean, can't ask for more from the core four right now. They're doing great, and the overall team as well. The overall team is playing that defense style perfectly. And I believe, and a lot of people have said this, that they're obviously prepping themselves for the playoffs because that's the style of game you need to play. You're not going to score most of the time 5 goals in a playoff game. It does happen, but not often. So you have to learn how to play that defensive style, protect the puck, get it out, and what we've been watching. And they're just getting better at it every night. And once TJ Brody returns, and then eventually Morgan Riley later on, it just adds more depth, obviously, to the defense. I do believe the Maple Leafs will go out and get another stay at home defenseman. They lost Mete tonight. I forgot to mention that, but they lost Mete to an injury. He was along the boards. He got hit and he had to leave the game. So, again, the injuries are still happening. So, Toronto's defense is still getting pummeled with um, these problems. So, hopefully, they can shake it and get some more depth players and their stars back, which seems to be happening. But my impression in October, the Maple Leafs struggled mightily. They looked rotten. They didn't have it going. Probably chalked up to, learning the system. They did have a lot of players change hands. So let's be honest, and they weren't sure about their goaltending. November and part of December now on this side, the best games that I've been watching lately. Excellent, excellent play overall. Very defensive, obviously, because of the injuries. And just generally, that's what they're supposed to do. And the guys that are supposed to score are scoring. Even their bottom half is starting to put the puck in the net. And they're starting to find that third line they've been looking for. Kerfoot, and there's a couple other players that were actually called up today. Anyway, excellent overall play by that line, and they were on a lot, obviously because of the penalty killing. Plus, just in general, Keefe seemed to put his trust in these guys too. So with that, I think we'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. I'm really happy to be back. You'll be getting a lot more videos, obviously, from me regarding Leafs timeout. We're now getting back also into the schedule of doing at least a video or so a week or two for the episodes, and we hope to continue to build on that. If you like what we're doing, please hit the like or subscribe button. If you want to get more content, please hit the notification bell on the right. It will tell you when I post and Typhoon and I post new videos. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good night.